What is up, guys? This video starts out sad
For you.
Episode 7. Rest in peace.
Gambit's dead.
May he rest in peace.
Gambit's dead. Funeral's going on. Everyone's sad.
Nightcrawler is giving the eulogy.
Yep, Nightcrawler. And hey, by the way, German Nightcrawler. Love it.
Let's go.
Love it.
I'm here for it. I honestly forgot he was German, like I said before.
Yep.
I love that he's German. Forgot it. It was nice to see again, though.
Yep.
Everybody's sad,
Crying.
and then one person decides to go AWOL.
Yeah. I think we get a very emotional Rogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, she is obviously saddened, not just by losing her significant other, I guess you can call it.
Yep.
But also losing her other significant other, which is Magneto. Strange, but okay. Hey, whatever.
Well, no, I wouldn't say other lover. I would say previous lover.
Yeah.
Ex lover.
Yeah.
There's no feelings. There's always feelings there, but she no longer has.
Not after that dance. I mean,
It's more of a play than.
yeah.
It was a goodbye. That was her goodbye to him.
Yep. So, obviously she's sad. We turn into the X-Men, the remainder of the X-Men that, Wolverine, Beast, Jubilee, who else was, I think Sunspot was there.
Yep.
All at the X-Men mansion, turning into the news of what happened in Genosha.
Yep.
And everyone finding out. Obviously, they're the funeral's obviously sad and everything, and everyone's tuning in and everything that's happened throughout the it was episode 5, right?
Yeah, episode 5.
So, leading into like that, into the funeral, and obviously what we just talked about with Rogue being AWOL, she wants to just go on a rampage and really just destroy everything in her path because of Gambit.
She wants to find Trask. She's
Yeah.
specifically looking for Trask because he's the one responsible.
Yep.
He is the one that created all the Sentinels. In her mind and what she's saying, he is responsible for Gambit's death.
Yep.
So she is knocking down walls
Knocking
to get to him.
knocking down walls, kicking down doors, everything, the whole 9, right?
Busting into bunkers.
Busting into bunkers, which was surprising.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where we lead into Rogue and her being AWOL, right? Really not say AWOL, just kind of going rogue, Rogue going rogue.
She's going AWOL.
You going AWOL?
Very much so, yeah. She's
So-
she's a rogue.
It's surprising because she's kicking down a military base, right? It was the first time that we're seeing the X-Men destroy a military base that's a United States base, and finding one of the Avengers there. My favorite superhero, or my favorite Avenger, Captain America.
Yeah. So she's in one of the it's a safe house, I believe, somewhere in the woods.
Yep.
I don't remember. I think it was like Washington or something out
Yep.
in the mountains. We're really just out in the mountains in the woods. And she busts in, and then here comes Captain America. And Captain America's very much like, this is not how we do this.
Yep.
You need to stop.
Well, even with because Captain America is very to the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it requires the sudden urge of just having to just break the rules, Captain America's not about it. Captain America is straight for the rules. He doesn't break anything. He is to the T, right?
Yep.
And he, for her, she's telling basically, and I love this part because she's telling Captain America, well, are you with me? Are you with the X-Men or are you not with the X-Men? And he's agreeing with, I am with the X-Men. Like, I am with you guys. I agree with you guys.
Yep.
But this is not the way that we, the United States, do this.
Or the Avengers.
Or the Avengers, right? And that little moment of Rogue and Captain America just talking about it symbolizes in the previous, I think it's the comics or the show, where they had a series of X-Men versus Avengers, because that situation right there. The X-Men, some of the X-Men don't mind killing.
Yep.
The Avengers are you cannot kill. Like, Captain America's like, you cannot kill. This is not what we do here.
Yep.
And that's where it kind of teased, like, they're Captain America's agreeing with Rogue on finding Trask. Like, I'm all about it, but we have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
We can't just go knock down into random bunkers or houses and think that we're going to get our way. What does that resolve?
Yeah.
And Rogue's argument is, well, if you're with us, you'll do whatever it takes to defeat the bad guys.
Yeah. And she very much understands that the government is hiding certain things.
Yep.
The government was behind a lot of this.
Yep.
And she doesn't trust the U.S. government.
Nope.
Because they're the ones that are causing a lot of the issues for mutants. And that's why she's not willing to see Captain America's side.
Yep. And she said, well, if you can't see it my way, then you can't be with us. Then I guess you're kind of against us. So it looks like you won't be needing this. And she flings his shield across the mountain, bro.
Yeah, just chucks it as hard.
Yeah, but I still like that. The moment I like is like, I obviously, symbolizes X-Men versus Avengers. You don't need the shield anymore if you're not going to help us, but it symbolizes a much bigger picture to me. Is like, yeah, she does want to find Trask. She does want to find, she in her deep down inside, she knows that what she's doing is wrong.
Yeah.
And deep down inside, she knows that she needs to do it the right way. But at the same time, her emotions are taking her over, right? And what I like here is that instead of fighting Captain America, she just throws his shield and said, whatever, go fetch your shield and I'll go do it my way without just fighting. And that's what I really liked about, like, instead of just fighting it out, because there was no need to fight, she just left.
Which I really appreciate, because we don't have another Civil War moment where they're just fighting to be fighting, really. There's no, like, rhyme or reason why that needed to happen.
Yep.
It was more fan service than anything. Whereas in this one, they don't need to fight. They understand they're on the same team.
Yep.
They're just doing it two different ways. And she doesn't hate him. She doesn't have anything against him. She just doesn't want to wait for it to be done the right way. She wants it done now.
Yep.
And she's going to go do it now.
Yep. And that leads into, we still are on the same POV for Rogue, right? We're still following her story, right?
Yep.
So she's still trying to find Trask. So she went to Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't help her.
Yep.
Then she went to where else did she go after that?
She went to a military base somewhere in the desert.
Right.
If I remember right.
Military base trying to find Trask again.
Yep.
Wasn't there. And I'm sorry, I know I said before that she was kicking down bunker or kicking military, but that was in the second scene, not the first scene where she's talking to Captain America. Mm-hmm. Then that she ended up getting some information in the second scene of when she's kicking down the bunkers and doors.
She sees the symbol, and I think she's seen that symbol before.
Somewhere in Mexico.
And it was in Mexico, yeah.
Yep. And that's where she gets the clue that Trask is in Mexico. And when we get a POV of, she's flying to Mexico, but we get a POV of a scene of Trask looking at his butterfly collection and looking at his, being in his house, being, everything's fine, this and that. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he doesn't know that Rogue's coming after him.
Yeah.
And if he does, he's like, if I die, I die. What if I die, what use is, for that? So, and then, is it Trash? No, it wasn't Trash. It was the other guy. The other guy was in Mexico. What was his name?
It starts with a G.
You know who I'm talking about? Henry.
Gyrick.
There we go.
Yeah. I remember it starts with a G.
So we go into the scene of she's kicked down the bunker and everything. She's trying to find Gyrick because Gyrick knows where Trask is, right?
Yep.
And all between this time, by the way, we have the X-Men. But while she's going rogue, we have the X-Men. Wolverine, Beast, Nike, everyone else who was not going rogue, helping out Genosha right now.
Yep.
So they're all in Genosha while all this is happening, helping out the survivors. There is no survivors, right? Mm-hmm. There's none. And while Rogue's over here trying to find...
Actually, they announced they found a couple.
Yes. So they find Emma Frost, which was the only actual survivor from there. Everyone was dead. So while this whole thing is happening, right, we have the X-Men trying to find people. Mm-hmm. We have Rogue going rogue, literally. They find Emma Frost,
which you had a sneaking suspicion that was somebody else too.
I think that was you.
Was it me? Yeah.
But it was you thought it was Mystique.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mystique, unfortunately. But
it's a good guess though.
It was a great guess. It could have been anyone. The great thing I like is that while Jean and everyone is sad, right? While we have Rogue going rogue, literally. Everyone's sad, cleaning up Genosha and everything. And we have Jean trying to find anyone, just one survivor, because one survivor means a lot right now. And she's trying to read like everyone's mind. She's like hearing voices and everything. She finds not just she ended up finding out obviously who Cable is, first of all.
Yep.
And his real identity. Second, while she's also doing this, you gotta think about it, right? She just found out that Cable's her son. She found out now there's a survivor here, and then all this other things happening. And we find Emma Frost, or Cyclops and her find Emma Frost. And the great thing is that Emma Frost is literally a diamond.
Yep.
And that's her power. But she's just completely locked out. She's just done. But I really like that there's a significance of why Emma Frost is still alive. And I don't know what the reasoning is, why they chose her out of all the other X-Men. I'm sorry, all the other mutants were on Genosha. Why her?
I mean, one, her power makes the most sense of how she could survive the collapse.
Yeah.
I mean, she's made out of diamond, which is the hardest material on Earth. So, like, a city crumbling on top of her is not going to hurt her. She might be stuck there because she can't move, but it's not going to hurt her. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yep.
But also, she has a lot of ties with Magneto.
She does. She does. Even when we go to the X-Men, I think it was Origins, with I forgot her name, the actress name, but she was a big tie-in with those movies and Magneto, and being a big part of.
Emma. It's not Emma Stone.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember the actress name, but I know that
that's who plays Mystique.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So it's like, but still, it's a big significant why she's there. We haven't found out the reasoning why. Maybe we'll find out soon. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just say, hey, here's a cool little feature that we added. You never know with these writers.
I mean, we get a big bad. We get the big baddie, controlling Mr. Sinister.
Yep. So we're after they find Emma Frost, right? And they're helping her to snap. That breaks the news, right?
Yep.
Of, hey, a mutant survived. It's a positive thing. We need something positive in the world.
Yep.
Rogue still going rogue, trying to find Gyrick. And then we get introduced to Sinister we already got introduced to, but we get to be introduced to the main villain of so far the story, which is Bastion. Yeah. And you know about Bastion?
I don't know him too much. I know he's basically Ultron, like Ultron is a part of him or something what's his name? The pink guy. That I played a lot in
Marvel Snap?
Marvel Snap, yeah.
I had it off the top of my head and I forgot. I know what you're talking about. So it's that guy and the other Sentinel that's the combination. What's his name? The main Sentinel?
Master Mold?
Master Mold plus
what is his name?
Dude, I gotta Google this.
Does it start with a Z or does it start with an N? I want to say Nimrod. That's not it.
It is. It's Nimrod. Yeah, you're right. So it's Nimrod and Master Mold, right? A combination of them two and is Bastion.
Yep.
So here's the crazy part is that Bastion, first of all, we get an incredible voice actor that I've never seen him actually do voice acting. I've seen him done acting in multiple shows and TVs. Multiple shows and multiple movies, but never an actual animated series. I love Bastion's voice actor. I thought he was amazing playing him.
What's his name again?
Don't know.
You don't know who voice. You're sitting here talking about this person. You don't know who it is?
No.
I typed in Bastion and it pulls up Overwatch.
Theo James.
What else has he done?
He's done it's a Netflix show.
Oh, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, what all has he been in? Oh, he did Divergent series. Gentleman.
The Gentleman. The Kind Gentleman.
Yeah, just the Gentleman from 2024.
Yep. So
Castlevania, Underworld. He's in. That's probably where I know him from. Underworld. What else? Witcher. He's in The Witcher. Witcher spinoff, Nightmare of something. of the Wolf, I think is what that one was. Sorry, yeah. I recognized him, but I just couldn't place.
No, yeah. So we get Theo Jane's voice acting Bastion, and again, Bastion is one of those characters that like he's just a really bad guy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
there's no good in him.
It's just bad to be bad, really.
Yeah, he's like his theory. Even his theory. His mission in life is to kill everyone that's not a mutant, basically, and make a perfect civilization for the mutants that follow him only. And and honestly just destroy the world. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care if you're good, bad. He just wants you to follow his orders. That's it.
Yeah. He just wants to be a god. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and you know, for us to be introduced to Bastion, right? I know that the one scene, I think, was it during this episode where we get a scene of him talking to the rest of the bad guys?
I don't remember that part. I know he mentions that he's working for or with somebody else.
Right.
So there is somebody else. And this is the reason I said Apocalypse. We've gotten Apocalypse in the opening animation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I think it's going to be Apocalypse.
Okay.
Because he mentions in this episode that he's working either, I don't remember if he said for or with somebody else.
Yep.
And with Apocalypse really being a big, like, ultimate level threat for humanity and the world and all that, it would make sense that Apocalypse would be the one behind it all.
You're still riding the Apocalypse train, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So far. All right.
I mean, everything we've seen in the opening animations, we've gotten so far.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I know he was talking to someone, and I'm sorry if I spoil it because I've watched all the shows. I know if it's episode 8 or beginning of episode 8, I apologize. If not, it is what it is. But I'll mention it in the next episode if anything. But we get a picture of Bastion and his powers and everything. Like his background is like literally Nimrod, and he's able to travel through, you know, a split in time and just kind of teleport basically. And he's also a robotic, so he has, you know,
He's from Cable's time period.
Yeah, he's from Cable's time period, so he can literally take something and add it to his own. So, leading into that, so we get a first shot of now going back to the Mexico, right?
Yep.
Rogue finding what's his name? Gavric. Finding Gavric. Finding Gavric in his little home, right? And he doesn't care. He's just like. He's like, whatever. You kill me. Who cares? You know. And he has he has butterfly collection and everything. She storms in, and basically he's like saying, "Where is what's his name? The doctor? Trask. Where's Trask? Where is he?" He's like, "Well, I don't know. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Basically, like you're on your own."
Yep.
And she's like, "No," and she starts beating him. He's like, "You're gonna tell me where he is," and he's like, he gets scared. He goes, "Well, what are you like?" He basically says, "What are you gonna do with your own? Are you gonna kill me?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm going to do."
Hey, just don't mess with her. She just lost the love of her life.
Yeah, so. And then he's like, he gets scared. He goes, "Oh, like I thought X-Men aren't supposed to kill."
Yeah.
No, she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, buddy."
And like, she can take the information from him.
Yep.
She doesn't need him to say it.
Nope.
She's just really enjoying
beating people up
at the moment. Yeah.
She just needs to let her anger out.
That's exactly what that is. Her vision is cloudy at the moment. She is not thinking right. She's not thinking straight. She is very much not a hero at this point in time.
Yep. And she finally, you know, gets the information from him, right? And so she goes to find Trask. She goes to find Trask because she's now got the information. And right before we pull off from that scene, Gyrick's sleeping. You know, it's dead of night. It happened already. Someone is coming into the shadows to talk to Gyrick while he's sleeping. And do you remember who it was?
I don't.
It was Bastion.
Yeah.
Bastion walks in while he's sleeping and basically telling him said, "Your mission is done." Because he's already listen. Bastion knows because he's a part of Cable's time period. He knows how this is gonna happen. He knows what's in store. And so he's like, your job's done. You did a good job. You told Rogue what she needed to be told. You're dead now.
Yep.
And he just kills him. He just suffocates him. He's like, whatever.
I do remember that part now, yeah.
So now we get a first look of Bastion just doing evil things.
Mm-hmm.
We got to look at Rogue finding out what she wanted to find out. And she finally finds Trask.
And at the same time, the other X-Men find out the information too.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're all headed to where Trask is.
Yep.
And we're getting back to a single narrative.
Yep.
In the story.
Yep.
They get there, and Rogue gets there first.
Yep. That's not who you want to see first.
No, it is not.
You want to see the other X-Men first.
Yep. And she takes matters into her own hand.
Yep.
And she kills him.
Yep. Which is the first time, because he's literally like the rest of the X-Men, while Rogue is holding Trask off the edge, right? Mm-hmm. While the rest of the X-Men are like, do not kill him, Cyclops like, this is not how we do things. This is not how the X-Men are about. This is not how we do things at all. This is going literally over that blurred line.
Yep.
Of what makes you a superhero, an anti-villain, or an actual villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling him, like, you give me the information or I will kill you.
Yep.
And it's like she's gonna drop him, right? And he's like, no, okay, I'll tell you. And then he tells her, and she's like, great. Well, now you can basically die in your grave, and just lets him go.
Yep. And
we get a still shot of him just dropping from the skyscraper. We get the X-Men just in shock that Rogue just did that. Mm-hmm. And Rogue just doesn't care. She's like, die. And then he just comes flashing down, hits a car, and just splat, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
You thought he was dead.
Thought so.
And then Cyclops, before we get to that part, Cyclops like, what have you done, Rogue? What? And even Wolverine's in shock. Like, Wolverine is like, we don't kill.
Wolverine's like the one person that kind of kills.
Yeah.
On the team, and even he was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, what? And then this is exactly what Bastion wants. Mm-hmm. Bastion wanted this to happen. And the big reason why, we get our very first look at a Prime Sentinel.
Yep.
That transforms from Trash to him. And it looks like a zombie. It reminded me of like Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, the what if
the what if
spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it was crazy. It was like, he came and he's like, mutant threat alert. This is it. Like, I'm going to kill you now.
Yep. And he's shooting off his hand.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff.
He's shooting off these blasters and everything. And he's putting a big, like, fight against all the X-Men. Like, they cannot go against them.
Yep.
And then that's where it leads to, like, them just trying to figure out, how do we beat this guy?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how they beat him. Do you remember?
I don't remember either.
I don't remember how to.
But don't we see one more person at the end of this episode? Or is it the beginning of the next episode?
Don't remember. Oh, we see Sunspot.
We do see Sunspot does go to his family and his mom.
Yep.
And announces that he's a mutant.
Yep.
His mom.
Yep.
And his poor delusional mother was like, yeah, no shit.
Yep.
She's like, you think 3 houses or whatever burned down just coincidentally?
Yeah. Just like, we've known you've been a mutant for a while.
Yeah. And it's like, is that why you ran away?
Yeah. She's like, we just figured when the time's right, you'll tell us.
Yeah.
So, hey, whatever. But yeah, I don't remember how they beat Trask.
I don't remember either.
We gotta look it up.
Did they beat him? I don't
pause. So going back into Rogue and dropping Bastion, dropping Trask and him coming as a Prime Sentinel, he is putting up a fight against the whole entire X-Men
by himself. The whole squad.
Yep.
Including Jean.
Yep.
Which is an Omega level threat.
Yep.
And then the rest of the team is not Omega level threat. So Rogue would be the closest next biggest threat.
Yep.
But against Trask, who is infected by a nanovirus that one of our other favorite characters had been plagued with previously in the season.
Yep. What comes out of nowhere? Cable.
Yep.
And at this moment in time, when Cable comes and helps, Cyclops is finally realizing who Cable is.
Yep.
And it's his son. It's a Summers.
The Summers are back. The boys are back in town.
The boys are back. And, you know, Cable being there and being able to help with defeating Trask because of his future, right?
Mhm.
Or his past in this point, has everything that he needs to defeat Trask.
Yep.
And we get a point where it's like, great, now we defeated Trask. How many other people are out there that may have this virus?
You know, we don't know how many total, but we ended the episode on one really, really important person that's going to have it.
Yeah. Who was it?
Magneto.
Magneto.
Still alive.
Yep.
Still kicking.
Yep. And he's met with Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion, they have the restraint collars suppressing his powers.
Yep.
I think Bastion is actually shaving him.
Yep.
And he's talking something about how the heat like amplifies or whatnot, and yeah, it looks looking like they're gonna turn Magneto into an unwitting Sentinel Prime.
That would be crazy.
And so Magneto might be our final villain.
You think so?
Possible.
Hey, you never know.
I'm gonna stay on the apocalypse train though.
You're staying on the apocalypse train now?
I'm gonna stay on the
You're still there?
I still think that they're gonna use Magneto as a pawn.
Okay.
Also, nanotech is still metal,
Mhm.
even if it's nanites. So, is it gonna work against Magneto?
Mm.
Because it's master of magnetism.
Mhm.
As soon as they take that restraint collar off,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna stop him from just taking out the nanites himself?
Yep.
I don't know. To wait and see in the next episode.
Yep. Episode 8, right?
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah. I mean, that does it for this one.
Yeah, we hit on most of that. So yeah. Until next time, guys. On that cliffhanger, let's see what happens with Magneto, the rest of the Sentinel Primes, Bastion, and let's see if the big baddie Apocalypse himself makes an appearance.
He's on the apocalypse train.
See ya.